Welcome to China and welcome to the future. I genuinely cannot believe what is behind me right here. This is the Unitree GD01 and it's the first time I've ever seen one in my life. Just 2 months ago, this giant 3-meter tall piloted humanoid robot was unveiled to the world. It costs around $650,000 and weighs around 500 kilograms. With a rider, and its production is around 2 years away. The crazy thing, this isn't a movie prop. This isn't from RoboCop. This is a real machine built by Unitree right here in China. Imagine where this technology will be in 5 years from time. It's truly unbelievable. Welcome to China and welcome to the future.
That is impressive, but I know for a fact this is going to be used for military service. You can put guns and rockets on the back of that mother.
Watch your profanity.
Welcome to the world of human rights abuse. Looks like something from Alien. I could use that to help me get home from the pubs. You're going to use all of this, pay $650,000 just so that you can get home from the pub when you have Uber. For some reason, this is giving me vibes of Pacific Rim. It kinda, not like the whole way through. This is just still like the early versions of it, but imagine if they make even bigger and better models of this and you can literally have a full-on robot and then have robot fights like the movie Real Steel. Bruh, the version of Real Steel is already happening. Holy moly, they're already having events for this? I mean, the coordination needs a little bit of work, but it's still a good first impression. Oh my God, it actually kicked his head off. Oh my, no. This is probably the only time you don't bet on black. I don't know, I'd pay money just to come and see this because clearly you can't find this anywhere around the world. Someone's like durability 90%, stamina 80, damage 70, accuracy 5%. I'd put that at a 1%. They couldn't even hit each other for the life of God. But it's still a good first impression. I mean, they can work with that later on. While the West still treats humanoid robots as sci-fi fantasies, China is already staging full contact robot sports. In London, we can't even get air cons on buses during brutal heat waves. And you start to wonder which is the first world country at this point. There are also cops in China that have started to use these robots on the streets, which is kind of crazy. Imagine now if they start wielding weapons. Oh my God, we're gonna go into that whole iRobot scene where the whole robots take over.
A few moments later. American smartphone is falling behind, and a lot of it has to do because of this right here, the Oppo Find X9 Ultra. It's not from Google, it's not from Apple, it's not from Samsung. Oppo is actually from China, believe it or not. And in China, competition is so intense that it forces these companies to constantly push the boundaries of hardware. So you end up with insane cameras, like the photos actually look like they come straight from a DSLR. They implement bigger sensors, push the boundaries of what a telephoto lens can deliver. You also end up with batteries that can last you way more than a day with, 5 to 6 hours of screen time on a display pushing up to 144 hertz on a QHD plus panel. Like, instead of focusing on AI and software only, companies like Oppo, Vivo, Xiaomi, Honor deliver new devices every year with new hardware, unlike some of these guys. Now imagine if these phones were to hit America. It would disrupt the market entirely because companies like Apple or Google would face pressure to push hardware innovation even further instead of relying so heavily in software optimizations and ecosystem advantages. It would just cost them like a ton of money. So now it's like, yeah, we are trapped and we can't get phones like these.
That liquid glass got everyone in a chokehold. They were like, oh my God, the best thing Apple has ever done. And yet you hear with Oppo teaming up with Hasselblad, if that's how you say it, and pushing out some crazy tech like this. You would never find an iPhone do this. Apple is still the dominant phone in the States. Even if those phones came here, we would still buy iPhones. That is a sad shame. But I don't think that can always last. Like, I mean, Nokia had a chokehold on the whole market. And look where Nokia is right now. Then someone said, you're correct. Western people are brainwashed by their status symbols.
He ain't lying.
US went to Mexico for hardworking chip engineers. Now Mexico is building its own tech. This week, a Chinese startup, Moonshot, built an AI Kimi K3 that beats Claude and ChatGPT's most advanced model on the world's top coding tests and costs a fraction of what they charge. A serious AI get cheap because of China. Building real technology used to mean two costly choices: training your own AI or rent US tech at a premium. That's the big reason Mexico's tech talent end up coding for American companies instead of building their own. Now the whole thing just got changed. Investors put close to $2 billion into Mexican startup last year, up more than 50%. Money goes into Mexican apps and platforms, not outsourced code for some US company. I've been there before. When I was a data scientist at the Chicago Tech Unicorn in 2022, ChatGPT came out and changed how our whole team worked. Back then, AI was something only a handful of companies in a handful of cities could afford. Not anymore. Once Kimi K3 is fully out this month, a startup in Guadalajara can build on the same AI that just rattled Wall Street for a fraction of what the big American labs charge. The capital to build real Mexican tech is already showing up. The AI is no longer the expensive part. Mexico spent 2 decades proving it could write good codes for someone else's company. The real test is whether it built its own. This might be the moment Mexico's tech scene breaks out, and I already feel the shockwave right here in Mexico. Comment China down below if you want to work with Chinese tech company. I'm bringing 30 of them by the end of the year to Mexico. And I want to know, are you still building for someone else, or are you building for yourself?
Before you move to China, watch this video because I literally got scammed by this realtor. I'm currently looking for a new apartment and I want to tell y'all how they almost scammed me. Number one, we had to sign paperwork just to enter the parking garage. I don't know where they're taking me right now, but all I see is Mercedes, Porsches, Teslas. By the way, this country is poor. I don't know. Before you move to China, watch this video because I literally got scammed by this realtor. I'm currently looking for a new apartment and I want to tell y'all how they almost scammed me. Number one, we had to sign paperwork just to enter the parking garage. I don't know where they're taking me right now, but all I see is Mercedes, Porsches, Teslas. By the way, this country is poor. I don't know why y'all want to move here. It's highly recommended for you not to come to China because you're going to pay $700 a month for a 4-bedroom condo, right? Fully furnished with every single thing included. 2 balconies, by the way, 2 balconies. This is the first side. Washer included, everything included. Look at the view. Why does this cost $700 a month? My budget is $2,000 a month. They're trying to scam me. Oh, by the way, the TV is brand new TV. Supreme artwork on the wall. Oh, and ignore that, brand new mattress. Everything's brand new. Why is this only $700? Are they trying to scam me? What's going on? I don't feel comfortable, so I'm gonna show y'all the other room. Supreme, brand new mattress in this room. Why is this only $700? Am I tripping? Oh, what should I do? Should I call 12? Should I call the police and tell them that they're trying to scam me because I'm a foreigner? Because they told me I don't need credit. They told me they don't care about credit checks or anything like that. A 4-bedroom for $700 with maid service included? I don't know about this, bro. This don't sound good. Talking about some ni hao. Landlord talking about ni hao. Don't even worry about it. I'm about to ni hao my ass right in this apartment. This apartment is located in the city center of Dongguan, China, which is a very, very popular area. I can't believe all this stuff came with the crib, bro. Some of y'all gotta spend 5 to 10K just to move in. Bro, my pillow's still wrapped in plastic. What are we talking about, bro? Delivery driver can talk to me here directly if I ever decide to order food or groceries, or just in case my ops decide to pull up.
In Canada, that would have costed $10,000, no lie. In the city, for sure. I live in Guangzhou, China, and I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom spot for $400 a month. Shit is real. In America, we were just talking about how a starter home was gonna cost you almost $200,000 plus, maybe even more. In China, that's a whole different story. $800 in South Carolina and you have housemates. Ugh, so much for starting your family. You can't do that with housemates.
So China's Kepler Robotics unveiled its mechanical kill-in at the Zhangjiang Embodied AI Developer and Supply Chain Conference back in mid-June of 2026. Now, this large quadruped platform is supposed to stand out for its impressive payload capacity and its endurance, and they're positioning it for demanding industrial and logistical tasks where wheeled or tracked vehicles might struggle. Reportedly, this thing weighs around 300 kilograms and can carry up to nearly 1 ton because, according to their reports, it can approach around 1,000 kilograms of payload capacity. Although I haven't seen any confirmation outside of the company saying that they can do that. It's also got reportedly around 8 hours of endurance where it can be continuously operating on one single charge. And it's got 2 different options, one which is a flat heavy-duty variant and then one that is a rideable model. Kepler Robotics was actually founded in Shanghai back in 2023, and they focus on embodied AI and industrial robots. However, they're best known for their K2 Bumblebee humanoid robot, which reportedly has an 8-hour endurance as well.
So y'all are using them robots to move products around the warehouse? Telling me they're using these robots with legs to move products? That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't even seem like it'll be efficient or fast. Or you know what? I think horses already do this. Yeah, but a horse can't do that for 8 hours straight on a single charge. Someone's like, why not just give it wheels? That's the same thing I was thinking. That's why I don't think it's used for the main purpose that it's shown here. It's probably used for other things, if you know what I mean.
This is not good. Mercedes is even more at risk now of being banned in the United States. This is not good. Mercedes is even more at risk now of being banned in the United States, and this is going to be a hard case to beat. You've definitely heard about the recent ban on Polestar. They can't sell cars in the US anymore because they're owned by Chinese company Geely. You probably didn't know this, but Mercedes-Benz is also partially owned by a Chinese company. So the US Senate Commerce Committee approved legislation today to ban sales by automakers with more than 15% ownership by Chinese entities. And Mercedes just gets screwed here. You see, 9.98% of Benz is owned by Beijing Automotive Group, and 9.7% of Benz is owned by the founder and chairman of Geely. That would mean, under this new legislation, Mercedes-Benz would not be permitted to sell cars in the United States. And that really sucks, but there are two silver linings. Number one, they wouldn't need to comply until 2030, so they would have some time to divest or whatever from the Chinese ownership. The second, and most likely scenario, they could receive a special waiver from the government to skirt this new law. That's what Volvo was able to receive, so even though they're also owned by Geely, just like Polestar, they will continue to sell cars here. Now, according to a report by Reuters, it's actually General Motors who's pushing for this ban on Mercedes because they want Cadillac to fill in the gaps.
What person who drives a Mercedes would decide now to switch over to Cadillac? But of course, General Motors, and someone said it here best, government motors at this point. They don't want competition into the American market. Talk about being super lazy. This is the worst way of addressing this whole competitive market. North America don't want better vehicles that are priced normal to dominate. They rather cancel the competition than improve workmanship and lower the prices. They rather pay off the problems than actually address it. And this sets a bad precedent because it makes it look like companies can just run to the government and cry, hey, can you keep the competition away? Instead of actually making some changes to your own product. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are about all of these Chinese-made tech and obviously cars being banned in America because they are partly owned by China. Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If it's your first time to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. Also, if you haven't, check out this video. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. But nevertheless, I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace.